Back now at 8:10, as you know, the Harry Potter movie franchise is the highest grossing of all time, taking in $6.4 billion. But the magic is coming to an end with tomorrow's release of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, one final fight between good and evil.
The boy who lived, come to die.
That had to leave a mark.
That's shouting a lot.
I know.
That's a fairly big moment. Yeah, that is quite dramatic.
Which we won't fully explain at the moment.
No, absolutely. We'll leave that to, go and see the film.
Okay, but for anyone who's been living under a rock, I mean, this really represents the final installment of the movies. How do you feel about all of this coming to an end?
It's just, it's bizarre. It's been part of all our lives for 10 years, so for it to suddenly be finishing is very, very strange. But, it's been I've had just a wonderful decade, and the fact that we're going out on such a high note is wonderful, because, the film is, I'm so proud of it, and I haven't been pleased with all the films, particularly like number 6. I was very open about the fact that I particularly hated my own performance in it, but this film is so far ahead of anything else we've done.
So you think it's the best?
Oh, by such a long way. It's a fantastic piece of filmmaking.
If I'm allowed, I actually happen to agree with you. It's a wow of a last movie. You wrapped about a year ago. Now you're attending all of these premieres. You must be feeling at some point. I mean, is there some little part of you that's happy to close this chapter in your life? I mean, I know you've been sad about it.
Yeah, but equally it is very, very exciting. You can't stay. You can't stay 11 years old forever. You can't continue doing this franchise for the rest of my life. The fact that it was, the fact that it's ending is, while it is sad on the one hand, and while I've made a huge number of friends who on those films, I will still know all of them, and I can take them with me into the rest of my life, hopefully.
At the same time, and not by design, it's come out in a magazine in which you've been very, and it surprised a lot of people, something you said. You said at one point, quote, "I became so reliant on alcohol to enjoy stuff."
Yes.
Exactly when was this?
I'd say it was from the ages of about 18 to 21, was when that period of my life. I mean, I stopped drinking in August last year, so just after I turned 21. And I suppose I just, it was something that I thought to make myself interesting and to make myself enjoy, my life. I did become very reliant on it, and I think there's a moment when you realise that something that is actually ultimately very destructive has crept into being a routine, and so that was the moment when I decided that that the amount I was drinking had led me to become unhappy, and so I stopped with the help of friends and family, and the last year has been a lot more manageable and a lot better. I've been a lot happier.
Peer pressure? Does being in the spotlight have something to do with that?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know that it's something that would have been affected by my life, or whether it's something that I would have stumbled upon anyway had there never been Harry Potter. But I wouldn't put it down to peer pressure at all. If anything, the only pressure that was put on myself to drink and become good at it, which I never achieved, I was always very unsuccessful at it, was put on by myself.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, on this point of celebrity, let me just simply ask you give you an opportunity to respond to what's been going on, because you've been under the guise or the spotlight of the tabloids in addition. But what's going on in Britain regarding this phone hacking, this cell phone hacking scandal? I wonder if you have any thoughts about that. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty awful, and it's the fact that, I mean, I'm sure it's been going on for a long, long time with actors and celebrities and all that kind of stuff, but people don't really care about that, and frankly are right not to care about that when you hear that they've tapped into servicemen's families' phones and young Millie Dowler's phone, and now allegations about the 9/11 families. I mean, like, it's pretty abject morality. So I think, I mean, it's pretty disturbing.
You sound angry about it, actually.
Well, I think the whole country is. I mean, I think it's kind of a shame that a paper that was so, particularly with regards to the servicemen, that a paper that was so supportive of the armed forces has these allegations come out about that paper is so upsetting. I mean, I can't imagine what that must be like for the family of Millie Dowler and for all the men and women that are out serving. It's just it's pretty disgraceful.
Yeah. Okay. We're switching gears. We have a little clip of you in the first movie.
Oh, good. I always love watching them. That's so kind of you. Thank you.
The clip is of you in the first movie. I think you're pushing. You're crossing the platform, right? At Hogwarts train. Describe who you were then. I mean, what were you thinking about?
Lovely. Look at me. I was like so sweet and cute and adorable. It's quite sad when you see things like that and you go, oh, now I'm just this 21-year-old mess. Because at that time I didn't know how annoying I was. So I was just sweet all the time.
You were not annoying.
Oh, well, thank you.
I want to ask you one final question about, so many people have you're surrounded by all these people outside who want some attention from you. And even Madonna has brought her children trying to get them to meet you. What celebrity would you like to meet? Who would you like to meet, celebrity or no? Who's your dream?
God, that's a really good question. Who would I like to meet? I mean, Gary Oldman was always somebody that when I started doing films and watching films, he was like somebody that I aspired to meeting one day. Other than that, I don't know. I've met Michelle Obama. That was pretty cool. She came out to the set. I've done pretty well. I'm sure there are people out there that I would love to meet and love to work with. But I mean, I've got to meet Mark Rylance this year a lot, and I got to meet Frances McDormand. So I get to meet very, very cool people.
Well, give us a list if you need any help in making that happen. I'm sure we can help you out.
If I come out there and stand there, you give me a prime spot. Yeah?
I promise. Daniel Radcliffe, a pleasure.
Thank you very much,
so much. And Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 opens nationwide tomorrow.